Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a Legacy video every Friday. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by joining the Patreon. Here you can gain access to continuously updated documents like a sideboard guide, a primer on Legacy Doomsday, and gain access to the Neville Shoot Discord server. So come join the community at patreon.com/NevilleShootMTG. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Legacy video. And what am I doing today? I am actually playing in the Legacy Challenge, and I'm playing this mess of a deck, Blue-Red Delver. And all right, I'm just gonna go right ahead and be honest. I had enrolled with what I thought was Dimir Tempo Doomsday. But I had such a mad day, and I was doing 1,000 things, and I had been fidgeting around with this deck list prior to loading up Magic Online again, and then enrolling or enlisting in the tournament. And I didn't notice that this was the deck list that was in my that was sort of assigned to my tournament, and so it went, and I entered with this deck. And as you can then also figure out, I'm doing this deck tech after the fact because I had already done a deck tech with my Dimir Tempo Doomsday deck. So yeah, entered this this challenge with a wrong deck by mistake. I hope you will enjoy nonetheless. I thought there were some excellent matches to come, and all those are recorded live. It's only the deck tech here that I'm doing after the fact. Get ready to see me battle against Doomsday. Get ready to see me battle against Oops All Spells and some other decks. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. All right, so we're on the draw here. And think we keep this hand. It is a little bit light on threats, which is to say there's only really the Cori-Steel cutter. But yeah, let's give it a try. It's the Scalding Tarn Mirror, huh? Basic Island into Tamiyo. Well, let's, I think we just pass here. There is a Brainstorm. Do I want to try and daze this? Or do I want to just try and overpower Tamiyo? I think falling behind on a land drop might be a little bit of a problem here. Okay, I'm gonna let them have their Brainstorm. Maybe that's just wrong. Yeah. I'm going to be just, I guess, putting a lot of stock into this Cori-Steel cutter. Now she flips. And pluses. Basic Swamp. Okay, so this is likely Dimir. I think I Brainstorm here. I really want to hide the cutter and find a bauble, if possible. Alright, we have a few choices here because it might actually be worth it for us to have them discard the Cori to get closer with closer to Delirium for the Unholy Heat. The problem is we will have 3 card types then, so it's not really very close. But I think I'm going to put away the Unholy Heat so they don't see that, and then I guess Delver. And then they can Thoughtseize away. Unfortunately, all these counterspells aren't that great in this matchup. I suppose there's also the world where we just, like, we force them here, but I don't think the Thoughtseize is where we are trying to counter something. Yeah. Maybe that was not the best, I don't know. Alright, so Delver is in. Delver will attack for 2. Unholy Heat deals 2. It's not really great. If somehow we can get to a sorcery in our graveyard, I'd be really stoked about that. Because then we have Delirium achieved. So maybe I am supposed to, I don't know, Brainstorm. I'll be revealing the Unholy Heat, so it's not like it's a big surprise. I think we also just have to feel good about not getting about not getting wastelanded here. If we could get them to kill our Delver, though. But as soon as I reveal this Unholy, they aren't going to do that, I guess. But I will reveal it nonetheless. That would be a really sort of next level thing to try and stop. Okay, I'm going to attack Tamiyo. Delver will connect for 2. I will cast Brainstorm here. If they have Bowmasters, we have that covered in a multitude of ways. Would like to find another land, and we do. We also find Brazen Borrower. Okay, let's get rid of the Force of Negation. And I don't know, maybe it is the it's one of the creatures, or is it a Daze? I think it's a Daze. Daze is about to run out of utility, and I think I will pass here, and hopefully they will fetch an Undercity Sewers here. Yeah, I'm gonna let them surveil before I bounce Tamiyo. Okay, that didn't happen. Maybe this is Bowmasters? Oh, it's the clue. Maybe I just chill though. Like if my Flooded Strand hits like the Thundering Falls hits a sorcery or a creature, we have Tamiyo covered. They might just Mindstone next turn to get a card out of the deal, which I think is fine if they get a Brainstorm or a Thoughtseize or whatever. Is there some... Could there be some reason to wasteland them here? I think maybe. Like if they have Murktide, I guess I would prefer them to not have Murktide. But we are sort of also like we can fall behind to their wastelands, make us more vulnerable to Daze. Yeah, I think I keep this wasteland. Yep. They take a Ponder, then they push Delver. Do I just want to Unholy Heat right now? Maybe. Then they can make a Murktide, but they know we have Daze. Yeah, I'm just gonna kill this right now. Got them their two cards out of that one. So that's pretty nice for them. Kind of worried about Wasteland. That's not Wasteland, that's Underground Sea. I think I'm supposed to make a 6/6 Murktide here. Sure it's Bauble. We can get rid of the Cori-Steel because we have an artifact. Not that it really matters. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to also hang on to this Bauble in case I draw the Cutter. Lots of decisions. Do I want to bobble them? I think I do want to bobble them now. I know like if they draw Thoughtseize, then it's kind of bad. Well, okay. They do draw Thoughtseize. And there is a Cutter. Wow, okay. Well, they Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's fine. If they have just a clean removal spell for Murktide, then that kind of sucks. Like Petty Theft would also be pretty good for them. They take the Cori-Steel. If they have a Murktide of their own, then I have that pretty well covered, I think. And they have like taken quite a bit of damage. Like they have dealt themselves 6 damage so far. Ooh, they revealed red. Do they have Unholy Heat here? Molten Collapse. I guess I Force of Will that. And it's either pitch the Daze, because Daze is not going to do anything versus their like 5 lands over there next turn, but it could also be like if they're running like a Singleton Spell Pierce. I think I have to pitch the Daze though and not play around to Spell Pierce. Okay, so Daze was pitched. Okay, here comes Murktide. Do I... A lot of options here. Cori-Steel, cut some Cori-Steel and have no payoff for it. I can wasteland them off of red in case they have another Molten Collapse. I think I'm gonna cut some steel. If they force of will here, then they are down to lethal here. I realize I could also just try to cast Brazen Borrower, but I would worry about days. I don't want to turn that on at this point in the game. Okay, they have another land, so if they have another Molten Collapse, then it's all good. Shoulder's Edict does it as well. Oh shit! No! Oh fuck me! I clicked through. I hate it. That is a Martin special. I F6 and yeah. All right, Tamiyo. All right, well, we on the upside, if we draw a spell here, which we do. Wait, this doesn't say non-creature spell, right? When you recast your second spell each turn, yeah, okay. And now they can make all the comments they want about why I didn't play this last turn. Well, you know, I misclicked. And I will attach token. Now they can daze. Okay, they didn't daze. And I guess I am just passing here. Fatal Push on one DRC. Do you have a second one? So next turn, I was going to say next turn we can trigger the monk here, but I guess not. They Thoughtseize. Are they going to attack here? No. Spell? Okay. That is a spell, but it's not the spell we wanted. Alright, I will attack with both creatures here. They can like block and brainstorm. That would be very good for them. Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. That can kill my monk. Then they take 3. And then I play my next thing. Now they have to get rid of one of my creatures or present a blocker. They aren't conceding. I guess they're attacking to draw and see if they can somehow like draw Brainstorm or something. Yep, there it is. Well, I guess they had that. The problem is they need to find 2 removal spells here because Tamiyo plussing isn't going to stop a lethal swing here if one creature just gets through. If they can take me off Delirium, I have only... No, I have 2 artifacts. I have only 1 instant though. Okay, they're fetching all of this with the Tamiyo flip on the stack here. I guess they're... Is this Kaito? Oh, Flame of Arnor. Okay. So they're flaming here, and if they then, off of the 2 spells, they draw a 1 mana removal spell, then they will have stabilized. And they didn't. All right, sweet. So we're up against Dimir Tempo, or Grixis Tempo rather. They have the red splash. Barrowgoyf is what this matchup I think comes down to. So we want the extra Unholy Heats. A couple of Power Blasts is probably good here for like Tamiyo, Kaito, Murktide. Wondering about Price of Progress. Let's see. So we want these 4, and we can shave some force effects. I think Daze, especially on the draw, loses its luster pretty quickly. We can at least cut 1, maybe 2. Maybe we cut 2 days or 1 days and 2 forces. I'm not sure how valuable Force of Will is in this matchup post board. I'm going to try this. A Braid can deal 3 to a creature, so it can kill an unflipped Tamiyo, but at 2 mana that seems a bit like wishful. So yeah, let's try this. Let's try and see if we can maybe not click through our entire turn for once. We're also like really behind on the clock because someone rang the door while I was brainstorming. And I had to run downstairs and do some stuff here. Okay, I like this hand. Lots of creatures. So, lightning bolt. Okay, I think I will cast. Like they probably have Fatal Push lined up there. I'm gonna start out with the Delver. This might get Orcish Bowmastered. Thunder Trap Trainer, okay. So this is a Grixis Wizards tempo deck. There is Fatal Push. Delver of Secrets, Radial's Pyroblast. I like that. Let's attack. And I'm going to try and sort of outmuscle them here. Or like just, not outmuscle, that's the wrong word, but I'm going to try and be an aggro deck here. Let's cast Ponder. I think I will actually take the days. Yeah, let's leave Brainstorm as the next card down. Oh yeah, it's always fun playing with Dragon Trace Chandler because you have to think like, will I daze? Do I then want to lose the land? What's the plan there? I prefer not to lose the land here. I'm assuming they're a wasteland deck. Okay, so they have Flame of Arnor mana here. Okay, that gets pushed. That's fair. Another trainer. Do I care? I think I actually will daze this. Okay, that got dazed. And I'm not losing my land here. There's a Brainstorm on top. I can think of worse cards to have to draw. And we might not have to draw it if this DRC resolves. We have Pyroblast and the Lightning Bolt. Push, huh? Okay. Tamiyo. I think I will Pyroblast this. Counter target spell if it is blue. They can daze. Okay, they didn't daze. Okay, and now we have a Murktide. They are representing Pyroblast. Let's crunch for 3. I'm gonna cast Brainstorm here in case they have a Pyroblast. Maybe that we can lure them into. Okay, but that didn't work. But I am liking these 2 bolts here. I am gonna just make a big Murktide here. Pyroblast, Brainstorm, Ponder, Daze. Yeah, I'm not leaving anything back for Delirium. Okay, that's in. Lethal on the board. A lot could still happen. Flame of Arnor, draw 2 cards. Okay, you're tapped out. Needs 1 mana removal spell here. The otter doesn't fly, does it? No. Okay. Well, I think I have you covered. Let's make sure. And we got it. All right, we take round number 1. Love it. All right, we are on the draw for round number 2. This is almost not keepable, but I think I will keep this. We can remove a small creature. We have Brainstorm to save us. And we have a force effect in case the opponent is up to no good. Not another land. Okay, that's good. I think I will float a fetch land here. We have a spare one, so like cracking it now doesn't make a future Brainstorm worse necessarily. Basic Swamp Pass though. So this could be Pox. This could be just Dimir something or other with a weird opening hand. Okay. It could be Saga Storm, I guess. I think I will get Thundering Falls here. We'll have to Force of Negation a Dark Ritual here if we don't want to get got by an opposition agent. Murktide. Do I want this? I think I don't. And I think I will Brainstorm here, then we can Daze. We just drew that. That's nice. So we can Daze and Orcish Bowmasters. I kind of want to find a wasteland here. Okay, yeah, there it is. And we Daze. That's dazed. Okay, we didn't find wasteland. But we found... Well, I don't think we need 2 Cori-Steel. Alright, I'm going to put back Thundering Falls and the second Cori-Steel, and then I'll float another fetch land, and we'll take it from there. Maybe I'm supposed to like replay the Thundering Falls and then mill over the second Cori-Steel. That gives us a guaranteed Delirium. But that opportunity has come and gone here. I suppose a bauble gives us Cori-Steel plus. We found it anyways. All right. Well, now Delirium is on. So what's the plan here? We can Unholy Heat, 1 token. I don't think I want to bounce here if I don't have to. I think this could be a Merit Lodge deck. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna play a second duel here, and it's either Ponder. But right now, Ponder is the card to pitch for Force, or the card that triggers Cori-Steel next turn. I think I'm just gonna pass. Yeah, they can make a friend, and do I just bolt that right now? Is that something I'm interested in? No. Let's wait. See what they do here. Looks like they are making a friend. Okay, so the Saga makes another one that makes this a 2/2. And then they're searching, and if they get like, what could they get? They could get like Lava Spur Boots. Then we can kill the one like becoming equipped, I guess. Yeah, let's just let them do this. They might get something else, who knows? Maybe a Mox Diamond. 6 cards in hand. That's a lot of cards in hand. Would lands be playing Basic Swamp? Yeah, maybe this is just Smallpox. These cards would all be in that deck, I think. Then I'm not sure they play Lava Spur Boots. If they get something that nukes my graveyard, that's kind of unfortunate. Okay, so they do get a Mox Diamond. Here comes the attack. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Bolt here because I think getting multiple triggers out of Cori-Steel Cutter like on different turns where they miss their land drop. Interesting. Yeah. All right, let's cut some Cori-Steel. I think we ponder here, looking for another lane. Oh, never mind. I already made my land drop. Ugh. Okay. I will attach it to the monk. Thank you very much. I like this wasteland. I like this daze. I'm gonna draw daze. Yeah, I should have. Oh, that was what a punt of me. I should have killed instead of pondering. I should have like burned out one of their creatures here so that I could get in with my attack. Now there is a chance that we we trigger the Cori-Steel on their turn here. We can daze plus Force of Negation, Malevolent Rumble, huh? I think I'm kind of supposed to save Force of Negation for Life from the Loam, but they clearly don't have that actually. So why don't we counter this? Yeah, I'm gonna force pitching the Brazen Borrower. Now my friendo is a 3/3. They don't attack. Okay. Here comes Wasteland. I am going to attack. Fatal Push. You know what? I don't see that happening. I have to say. All right, I am actually going to try and gain a little value here off of this Thundering Falls, and I will Unholy Heat this with the mana floating. All right, so our monk becomes a 4/4. I'm not gonna attach it, and let's replay this. Oh no, never mind. I wastelanded. Yeah. I think I'm just supposed to push the advantage here. Make a giant dude. Grist. Alright. Grist is a good card. So we will lose our Murky Murk here. That was good. Let's start off with the Brainstorm. And we get rid of the Thundering Falls. And I think we get rid of the Delver of Secrets here. Then I think we bolt their face, or rather, let's see here. If I cast Lightning Bolt now, it's my second spell. I get another monk. I attach the 1/1 to that, the +1/+1. So I have a 2/2. So I would have 3 2/2s. And then if I ponder, they all become 3/3s. So where I put my lightning bolt doesn't really matter, I guess. So yeah, let's just let's kill the grist with the bolt. Oh no, I guess the ponder will make the other ones, two of them 4/4s. Yeah, this seems good. Lightning bolt. Plus a daze. I'll deal you 11 here. There is a ghost quarter. Life from the Loam on what? Boseiju and Urza Saga. They already made their land drop. So they could Boseiju something here, and then if they think I don't want to shuffle here, but I don't care. That's fine. Oh, smallpox. Okay. I guess that's also fine. Oh, never mind. I'm losing my hand as well. I should have dazed. Yeah, well done. But ultimately it doesn't matter because we're drawing a lightning bolt. They discard Hogak. All right, so this is smallpox. Can't imagine that's a matchup that I'm happy to face here. We could bring in Grafdigger's Cage to stop them from casting Hogak from the graveyard. They can still cast Hogak from their hand. Meltdown versus their Mox Diamonds and Urza Saga tokens seems kind of appealing. Price of Progress is something I could also see because they are like they're playing the Umedian Hatchery, so they're dealing themselves damage each, like a lot of damage, or potentially doing that. The second Force of Negation is Life of the Loam something like that I'm supposed to be that scared of. So we want these three. A Braid can kill a Construct or a Bowmasters, but I think we probably have enough of that kind of thing. Am I supposed to like not have 4 dazes on the draw versus this opponent? Probably. Board out 2 of those. And I don't know, like casting Force of Will effects against Smallpox also seems a little bit risky. Yeah, maybe I board out the Force of Negation. I didn't really. It is worth a consideration boarding out a Force of Will before Force of Negation because of Life from the Loam. But I think I'm going to do this, like, do it like this. We'll see. Yeah, this hand seems lovely. Can still obviously lose hard to a bunch of things here. Not getting Thought Seized is nice. I guess having drawn that second volcanic island, I'm okay. Not playing on the basic island. Are they going to go aggro with this? It looks like they are. Just ramping it up. I guess Consign Memory is a thing we could be interested in doing. Bowmasters. I think not. I'll get rid of a Ponder here. Alright, come on, flip. Do not flip. Draw another volcanic island. Okay. That's not so good. Alright, let's cast a Ponder. And I think I'm actually going to take the Brainstorm and cast the Brainstorm. Get 4th volcanic island, why not? I'm gonna do it now. I don't want them to have like another Bowmasters. Second Delver. Alright, I'll put back second Delver and then the Brainstorm, and then we can sort of decide if we want to draw another Delver. Not flipping that Delver seems kind of important. Oh. Well, they have no green mana right now, which is nice, but they are... So I will flip the Delver. They could tap this, waste themselves, and then, like, triple block my Delver. Then I can bounce one of their guys, but... And if they only double block, then... Okay, it looks like they are not interested in doing that. I wonder if they have another Bowmasters. I think I will just pass here. In that case, no. No. I'm gonna let them burn off the mana, I guess. Alright, never mind. They are just passing. I don't think I want to draw Delver of Secrets number 2 here. I want to Surveil. I want some red spells, I think. Cori-Steel. Yeah, that's good. Let's draw that. So if I cast this Brainstorm, that triggers the Cori-Steel, but it takes me off of bouncing a thing. But maybe that'll just have to be good enough. They also can't both wasteland themselves and make a construct. Ponder is nice, and so is I guess the Daze. All right, let's trigger this. Cast Ponder. I think I have to give up this Brazen Borrower. I just don't want to draw more lands. Drawing Force of Will is not the worst. I think I'm actually okay trading my Delver for a lot of their hatchery dudes, if that's the thing they want to be doing. They can get 4, and then they're down to like 1 land now. And we'll see what they end up doing. Yep, that's fine. Haywire Might. Okay, so if they can get access to green, they can exile my oh, and Hogak. Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me. Now I am sort of out here. Need a spell. I mean, I'll take it. But it's not great. And I can save the Flooded Strand in case I draw Brainstorm. That's worse if they draw Smallpox, but they can't cast Smallpox now anyways, so. Okay. A green mana would be kind of bad for me because the Cori-Steel then dies, but I'm still kind of good here, I think. Spell? Lightning Bolt. Oh yes. Alright, so let's attack here. So I can deal them 3, they go to 4. And then they're at 1. I think that's fine. And we get Surveil. Unholy Heat. Yeah, I mean, I'll leave Unholy Heat on top. That triggers the Monk's Prowess and can kill one of their creatures. Oh, wow, okay. Endurance. So that kills my DRC here. That still leaves them at 1, but that means that, yeah. That was good for them. That was a good draw. Or not a good draw, that was a good play. So we could hold on to the Unholy Heat here. I think I will do that. I'll attack. Like if they want to double block, then of course I'll heat one of those. And okay, that is what they decided to do. And they get 2. All right, they lose 2 anyways. Oh yeah, because this trambles. That's so nice. Mox Diamond, huge. But I mean, and they were sitting and holding on to their land here, but then they lose. Okay, sweet, 2-0. Happy to beat this Pox matchup, I have to say. That was not something I would have drawn up as a wishful matchup. Alrighty, on the play for round number 3. Oof. I think I risk the biscuit here and keep this hand. The nightmare, of course, is if Thundering Falls Surveil doesn't show us a land and we get wastelanded. But yeah. There are 18 lands, but only 14, like there were 19, so 18 with the Thundering Falls in my hand, but there are only like 14 that actually make mana. Come on. Yes, please. Okay, sweet. I feel like a lot would have to go wrong for us to like get wrecked here on the early turns of the game, but yeah, we'll see. Like a Thoughtseize on our DRC would kind of suck. That does not seem to be what is in the cards for us. Yeah, let's play this DRC and pass. If this is a fair Dimir deck, then yeah, I think maybe I'm supposed to pitch force to force here. Oh, but it's Doomsday. Alright. Well, wonder if this is tempo or turbo. I'm not gonna fight over the consider here. If this is turbo Doomsday, my hand went from being fine to being amazing. Brainstorm. Yeah. And a personal tutor. So this is turbo, huh? Well, days might not be good later, but I am gonna allow this. Keeping Bolt for post Doomsday might be worth it, but I do also want to get my like surveil happening here. Oh, they got Edge of Autumn. Interesting. So they are setting up for a same turn kill. Makes sense. Alright, let's bolt them and get a surveil. I would take any blue card here to go from Force Force to Force Force Days. Cori-Steel Cutter, don't want that. That does mean I'm almost delirious here. Like if I draw Ponder, I could Ponder to get Delirium. That was not so exciting. I will play it out. The land. This way we could hard cast Force of Negation, have Force Pitch Days, and then Days, but that plays into them having Days. Not sure I love that. If this is a tap out, oh, it's a Dark Ritual. Okay, it's not tap out. Yeah, let's Force Pitch Days here. Get a Surveil. We put Ponder. Well, I mean, we could also just cast Ponder next turn. I think maybe that's better. They have Flusterstorm. Okay. Their hand is Edge of Autumn plus 2 unknowns. So we are at Dark Ritual Doomsday Force, so Flusterstorm is Storm 4. So I can't really do anything about that. So I'm going to let the Flusterstorm copies resolve. Then I'm going to Force Pitch Days. And then hope that they don't have a pitch counter among the cards, the last cards in their hand. And I'm not going to play into Days here. It's really not worth it to take that risk. They could have a second Flusterstorm, I guess. Okay. And another personal tutor. Okay. So Edge of Autumn, blank, and then they're drawing Doomsday. That is, like, pretty scary. Okay, let's cast the Ponder. We put second Ponder in the graveyard. That is not that good. I think what I want to do here is draw the bauble, cast the bauble, trigger it or activate it, and then we can draw a brain. We draw the brainstorm. We could brainstorm and hope to find like lightning bolt, or maybe that's just not good enough, and I'm supposed to like go looking for a wasteland. Yeah, I could just actually take the I could draw the brainstorm, put Force of Will on top, and then I cast brainstorm. I get a surveil trigger, get rid of Force of Will. Then I have 2 looks at either like a wasteland or a daze or a lightning bolt. I guess not sure not sure what lightning bolt is going to do for me here, but I think maybe that is worth it. Get rid of the Force of Will. They're pausing here, which makes me worry that they might have lightning bolt daze. I mean. Oh, yeah, that was not so good. All right, well, I will probably lose now because we know they have the Edge of Autumn. Oh no, never mind. They would have to have Dark Ritual. I've been working under the sort of false assumption that they had Dark Ritual, which they might have, but that would actually allow them to kill me on this turn. But if they have to tap out here and they don't have LED, like we know Edge is in there is a card in their hand. They could be playing like a Deep Analysis, in which case, if the second card is just like anything that makes a blue mana, then they get to win this turn as well. Let's have a look at their list. See, Cabal Ritual. There's no Cavern of Souls here, so that means that Cavern is in the pile. Did I just muck this up? Like, because the Cutter is gonna make a monk once I cast the Mishra's Bauble. We don't want the land there. Yeah, so the Bauble is gonna make a monk, and that becomes a 2/2 when it gets equipped, but then I don't have a way to close it out, so I'll leave them at 1 life. Very long pause here. I wonder if they put a Force of Will on top of their deck. Let's see, how many days is 1 days, 2 days. I see Dress. This is, and there's 1 force, 2 force, 3. So it looks like there is 1 Force of Will accounted for here, or unaccounted for here. The days. Yeah, I will pay for that. And I'm gonna cast this ball. That means I can't draw I can't draw a lightning bolt here on their upkeep. Wasteland. I don't think that's good enough. Okay, well, here comes the attack. And then I have to hope to draw exactly days here, and that may or may not be good enough. So they have Force of Will on top of their deck. Yeah, if they just have 2 Edge of Autumns here, they have the win. They have 1 in hand, plus if their deck is playing another one. Yeah, I think they get this one. 3 mana. And the second edge, yeah, okay. And then they have the Oracle, sure. GG's. So now we have to think about if they are becoming a Barrowgoyf deck. Because that's what I like to do in this matchup. And if they are, then we really want these Unholy Heats. Surgical Extraction is like, it's not a complete insignificant card versus Doomsday, but it's also not great. This is a lot of stuff to bring in. So maybe I cut the Cori-Steel side of things here. That also means maybe cutting 1 or 2 baubles. And I think I cut Brazen Borrowers. That leaves me with 3 Murktides, 4 DRCs, and 3 Delvers as my threats. That's probably fine. Then I still need to cut something here. Maybe the second Force of Negation is 1 too many. And maybe 2 Unholy Heat is enough. We don't even know if they're bringing in Barrowgoyfs. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, we can't beat the turn 1 send here, but this hand is pretty good. And they mulligan to 6. Let's see. I have high hopes for these Wastelands. Doomsday does not always have the luxury of fetching basics. Ponder, okay. Disappointing the basic island here. I think I will Lightning Bolt because I do want to hit another blue card. So I'll Lightning Bolt on my upkeep. I'll take the days. And we send. Now they can't get their basic swamp. They have the whole world. Thoughtseize. Okay. Well, these wastelands are suddenly like have become a huge liability to our success in this matchup. Okay, they take Force of Will. They're at 12. Alright, let's get a Surveil. I guess I'll take a Lightning Bolt. Dark Ritual. Okay. This could be Barrowgoyf. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I will lose to this. Alright, let's attack. They aren't interested in the trade in the block here. Here comes Delver. Looks like they're thinking about forcing here. Forcing here would take me off. It would grow the Goyf out of bolt range. And then it would out of bolt range, you know, if you know, out of 4 toughness range. And then it would also mean they would be sure to connect with it. All right, let's see here. So there is instant in the graveyard. If they have a removal spell here, they can. If I block with Delver, and then bolt, they can then like long goodbye my DRC. But I think I have to try this. Wait, okay. And then I bolt before damage. They can cycle a Street Wraith here. Okay, they have force. Ouch. Okay. I will put Bauble in the graveyard. So now I'm going to have Delirium once my Delver dies. I need to draw one of my 2 Unholy Heats. Consign to memory, huh? And I will stifle this trigger. I guess I'll replicate it once. Maybe 2 times. Yeah, because I want the Surveil. Get rid of Volcanic Island. Same targets. Come on. Unholy Heat. Ponder. Guess I'll take it. I think I'll put Ponder away here. My mana is also a bit messed up in that sense. DRC and Price of Progress. Currently not at all what we're interested in, no. Ugh, God. And I'm still sitting with this stupid daze they've known about since like turn 1. Okay, and now we are getting, let's see if they get some value out of this. They do. They can choose the Murktide. Currently not able to cast it. That could change, of course. Okay, something good, please. I mean, we're not drawing dead here or anything, but of course I get the second daze. Come on, deck. Ugh. Well, I have been playing out my lands also because Flusterstorm is a way they beat Unholy Heat. All right, here comes another connect, which is going to be the last one for me if I don't find an answer to this. I will like daze anything here. They choose not to. That's interesting. Okay. Bauble. Okay. There is Unholy Heat. That is quite amazing. Let's see what they're drawing. Dark Ritual. Not currently useful for them. This is a 5/6. Yeah, so it will die to the Unholy Heat right now. But I mean, if they have Force of Will, and I mean, they pitched a Force to a Force, so we can like hope that they don't. But if they do, then we're dead. Pyroblast. I'll leave the Pyroblast on top in case this game goes on. They had the Force. Alright, GG's. Alrighty, so we're on the draw for round number 4. Against a Yorion deck, I see. 80 cards there. It doesn't bode well necessarily. Like if this is like black and white taxes, like a Philia deck or something, I think we're gonna have to get a bit fortunate maybe, but we'll see. All right, so I think I will keep this. It's missing a threat. Having 2 removal spells seems kind of nice. Can Force of Negation a turn 1 Aether Vial if we need to, and that is exactly what's happening here. 3rd Lightning Bolt. Okay, perhaps a little bit much of that. Let's bauble ourselves. Cori-Steel Cutter. I think I'll draw that. And I am going to fetch Thundering Falls here. Like to see another land. We do. Alright, so let's pass here. If they have end of turn Bowmasters, I guess I will. Not sure if I'm supposed to let that live or just use my bolt right now. Yeah, let's see what happens here. We're so flush on lightning bolt. Just hoping not to get wastelanded still. I can take 2. There's a Caracas. and a Stoneforge. Okay, so yeah, Stoneforge will need to die. Pre-formal iron, pre-war formula is the name. Yeah. Oh, they can just hard cast this. I think I will bolt the Stoneforge now. We can wasteland them to try and take them off of hardcast pre-war formal wear. I think I like that, but I don't like my position here. So the pre-war formal wear, when this enters, return and attach this. So if they get to cast this, they get back Stoneforge. Stoneforge is instantly out of lightning bolt range, and we have lost. I think we. I am gonna play this cutter, even though I'm not gonna be triggering it. And I'm gonna wasteland here and hope they don't have another land, which seems unlikely, but you never know. And oh, but it's enter tapped. That's huge. If I can find a blue card here. Blue card. Yes, okay. So let's bolt this Orcish Bowmasters. And do I risk it here and cast Brainstorm? Because I kind of want to hold on to the bolt here. I think I do. It has to be a blue card in the next 3 cards, right? And there was. Okay. Yeah, let's I guess. What's the thing? What's the move here? I kind of want all of this. I kind of want a 3rd land because then I can Cori-Steel next turn and cast a spell, but then I don't get to keep Force of Will. All right, let's put back Lightning Bolt and Cori-Steel, and we'll attack. Recruiter of the Guard. I think I have to let that just go. Maybe that's a punt. I don't know. Skyclave, sure. Alright, so I'm going to draw the cutter. I'm going to play it, and then I'll ponder and hope to find another blue card. Hang on. I am going to fetch first. So our first friend has prowess now, or has +1 from the prowess. Alright, here comes a lot of triggers. More prowess. They have solitude, sure. Pitching solitude. That's fine. I will equip. And I will equip. And we do find Ponder to pair with Force of Will. So that's good. And I'll draw the Flooded Strand next turn. And let's move into combat. But I am kind of out of gas now. Skyclave. I think that'll just have to be okay. I think it's still the pre-war formal wear that I am afraid of. No attacks this time. Alright, I will fetch and then I'll cast Ponder. This could find us cantrip into cantrip and then a blue card. Obviously I continue to run the risk of not finding another blue card, but there's a lot of blue cards in the deck. Yeah, look at that. Amazing. Okay. Draw Brainstorm. I think they would have cast Bowmasters in response to that Ponder if they had it, so let's do the thing. I will equip the thing to the new thing. And I could cast Brainstorm yet again, just to put more damage on them, but I could also wait a turn. Yeah, let's put back Brainstorm on top of Brazen Borrower. Then we'll get our attacks in here. I could have, if I had the Brainstorm now, I could have blown them out here, but I think leaving them with the 1/1 is going to have to be fine. And I get a 2/2 as well. Alright, and their hand is pre-war formal wear. And that is it. And this is what we've been preparing for. Like Overlord of the Bailmerk would be pretty scary here. That's their last card. Okay, but they have nothing. They can put Yorion in their hand. and then die next turn. Well, they have a chump blocker, I guess. But we are no, they don't, because we're gonna bounce it with this brazen borrower we're drawing. All right, that was nice taking game one there. I think consigned memory is pretty good. They do have lots and lots of triggers. I think Unholy Heat is like more removal, more spot removal. That's probably not a bad idea. Null Rod is interesting because Null Rod stops their Aether Vial and probably not a lot else. And kind of the same with Meltdown. Aether Vial is super impactful though. Price of Progress, I could see do something here. But they are like a 2-color deck with 80 cards, so they are bound to be playing quite a few basics. But having said that, I think they're also like, we've seen the shadowy, whatever it's called, the black white surveil land. They probably play a scrub land or two. They play Caracas. I think a braid is good. Okay. So I think I've opted not to bring in Price of Progress, and I'm going to board out Force of Negation. It's not like it doesn't have any targets, but I think the main thing is their creatures. We just saw Cori-Steel kind of win the game for us there, but I'm not sure how much I love it. I think I'm okay cutting like one Force of Will. Much of our way of fighting them is on the ground, so to speak, like removing stuff. And then I'll cut 2 Dazes on the draw. Yeah, let's try this. All right, I'm going to keep this hand. No removal spells. It's a little bit scary, but let's see how we do. Shadowy Backstreet is the name of that card. They keep a card on top. Basic Island. I think I will just lead on DRC here. Wasteland, okay. Do you also have a plow for this? Yep, alright. Well, we have lots of lands. Maybe not lots of creatures. Let's cast Ponder. Yep, that's good. I will draw Daze and then play another Dragon's Rage Channeler next turn. Lion Sash. I don't think so, my friend. That can just completely control my graveyard. My creatures that depend on that graveyard. Why would you do that? Okay, another DRC. And then we could go for a Murktide next turn. There's Caracas. Skyclave takes care of the Murktide. Or the DRC, I mean. Yeah, let's try for a 5/5 here. So far they have been able to answer everything. Let's see if that continues. Yep. Lightning Bolt. Okay. Alright, so I'll cast Brainstorm here. We can bolt like a Bowmasters if they have that. Okay, they did not. Let's get rid of a land and not sure. I think it is it might be Brazen Borrower. That is the most unique card though. Philia. Okay, well, Philia is gonna go bye-bye-o here. Overlord of the Baelschmerk. Okay, I'll consign that. Would have liked to surveil there, but this is more important. And Aether Vial, okay. The old turn 6 Aether Vial, a bit less scary. Oh, they forgot to attack. Okay, need a creature, preferably, or a Cori-Steel Cutter. That is a creature. Yeah. I am just gonna slop up everything here, I think. Make it an old 6/6. A lot of good stuff they can, like Philia here slaps so hard if they find another one. Oh, and they found something. Oh, they put Yorion in. Okay. and they kill my Murktide. Disappointing. All right. Well, now we're out of gas, both of us. I am at 1,000,000 life, and now I get to surveil and hopefully find a threat. Consigned memory would have gotten that as well. Are we attacking this turn? Yeah, we are. Okay. Cori-Steel Cutter, I think, is my best draw. How does this work? So once they have no time counters on it, okay, nothing happens. It just becomes a 5/5 at that point, which is obviously good. All right, but there are a couple turns until that happens. Come on, Cori-Steel. Not Force of Will, thanks. Unholy Heat. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna trade my Unholy Heat to get a 1/1 Spirit currently. Having this double removal spell set up here is pretty nice if they ever get to Philia, because she will instantly end the game by like blinking everything, blinking the Murktide, or the Overlord, I mean. Okay, Brainstorm, I'll take it. Ooh, okay, get rid of Daze, get rid of Volcanic, and have a fetch land. This is not going exactly how I wish it to go. No activation of Aether Vial. Is it going to go up to 3? Yep. Overlord down to 1 counter now. That means at the end of their next turn, it becomes a 5/5 creature. Alright, let's fetch. Get my last fetchable land. A Braid. Do I kill the Aether Vial? I think I wait and see what comes out of it here. Activation. Recruiter. Okay, let them recruit. They do get Philia. That makes sense. Maybe I just... Oh, so they cast the Philia now. Okay, so we're doing this now, huh? Okay, I'll let them have the Aether Vial, or will I? The problem is, like, if I use all 3 of my spells, then if I draw the Cori-Steel, it's no longer very good. So I think I am gonna let them have the Aether Vial, and then I'm gonna cast a Braid on Philia. They will activate Caracas, and then I will Lightning Bolt the Philia. Nice little 2-for-1 for them, unfortunately. And like with regards to Price of Progress, look at the lands we have right now. I don't think Price of Progress is supposed to come in here. Not attacking with the Recruiter. Okay, and now here comes the 5/5 Doofaloofus. Unfortunately, we have only 2 card types in the graveyard. Second Unholy Heat. Alright, well, let's pass here. I guess we can Unholy Heat our, or their Skyclave, and then we have a Chump Blocker. Oh shoot, this is also when it attacks? Yikes. Now they get to bring back, yeah, now the game is over. I think that was what they return. They return a Stoneforge. I'm gonna concede and go to game number 3. Yeah, like we can't handle that, I don't think. Let's bring back a couple of Dazes on the play. Maybe like we can cut a Brazen Borrower. It's just like not that efficient. And I'll cut a Mishra's Bauble as well. So we saw a game there where the opponent basically answered everything we had forever. Is this good enough? I think I'll try this. I'll Ponder. Would like to find a threat. We have the Cori-Steel, so Ponder can also find us like Mishra's Bauble, which might be nice. A Ponder, but then 2 more lands, so I would at least be drawing one of these lands. I don't think so. We shuffle and get a land anyways. Too bad. No turn 1 Aether Vial, so that's a bit of a relief. Daze, don't hate it. So the question is if I'm supposed to cast the Cori-Steel Cutter and then hope there's something to Daze. I don't think there is. I don't think there's a flash threat at 1 mana that's not Source to Plowshares in their deck. Okay, so they are representing the Bowmasters here. Let's get Thundering Falls. What's with all these lands, deck? Ball here is good. Lightning Bolt. That's pretty good. Alright, let's cast Cori-Steel. And so what happens if I Lightning Bolt them here? They go to 17, I get a 2/2 haster. Then they flash in a creature, then I daze it. But then I'm a little bit out, like more or less out of gas. I could also just pass here and then daze and then have double bolt next turn. I think I actually like that more. Is this Philia or Bowmasters? Philia. Okay, I'm gonna bring back the basic island, because if I bring back one of my red duels and they wasteland the other one, then I can't double bolt next turn, which is something I'm interested in. And I will equip here. Philia gets dazed. What's the damage like here? Oh, looks like they're just passing. That's very interesting. Maybe they have like Solitude here or Plow on my upkeep. I would like a cheap spell I can cast here. I would like to not just put 2 Lightning Bolts at their face right now, because Lightning Bolt is also my only removal spell. Daze. We take Daze here, right? Let's play Scalding Tarn. Let's attack. And I think, oh yeah, if I am supposed to Lightning Bolt there, I'm supposed to like double bolt before combat to get the other monk in, but I think I'm not. Like, they are stuck on lands here. I think I'm okay waiting. Maybe we cast 2 spells on their turn and get another monk, and then we have bolt. Honestly, I am okay dazing here. I was supposed to tap for red, right? And then lightning bolt. Yeah, I was. Let's bolt them here, get a second friend. This is obviously not like the most optimal way of using this, but it is kind of like getting some miles in. But the opponent is also doing well to play around it. Let's see if they find their third land. Okay, so they plow one. A cantrip here is probably my best draw. Wish I had a second Thundering Falls. Oh man, screw beats flood, right? Well, let's surveil. Can we afford a second daze? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think the second daze is worth it, even though they are stuck on lands. They might very well get another land next turn, and making daze just kind of useless. Let's equip this Cori-Steel and attack, and then hope to draw a spell next turn. Yep, there's the third land. They have Recruiter of the Guard, maybe? Skyclave. Yeah, yikes. That takes the Cori-Steel. Brainstorm, please. Unholy Heat, huh? I mean, I guess I will heat this and attack for 2, but that was pretty damning for us. I'll play my Flooded Strand here because it's what's best in case I draw Brainstorm, but I think we're going to lose now. I think the dam is broken. This is another Skyclave. Wrath of the Skies. Yep, that does it. I think probably my best draw is another Cori-Steel Cutter, to be honest. Hey, that was a good draw. I'm not gonna say it wasn't. Bolt you down to 7 and then attack for 2. I mean, again, not optimal here, but pretty okay. And now, like, a Murktide would be nice. I'm just, like, trying to speak cards into existence here. Flicker Wisp. Okay. I mean, that's annoying. It takes away the token, but it could be worse, I guess. Come on, cantrip. No! Oh, that's crushing. As soon as I draw a cantrip, we will be able to re-trigger the Cori, but I mean, okay, now they can find another Skyclave. Like, Brainstorm would be such a freaking good card right now. Solitude, okay. Sigh. Alright. Well, let's pass. We have a little bit of time, I guess, and this consign can maybe buy us a little bit of wiggle room here. No, we have to use it now. Cannot allow for Stoneforge Mystic to happen. I guess I'll cast with Replicate 1. Again, I am asking you, deck, please, a cantrip. No attacks. Yeah. Freaking kidding me. A big pause on my draw step here. Maybe they're thinking about surgical extraction. On what though? Ponder maybe? Okay. Well, let's cast Delver. Like put Cori-Steel on it, then it gains haste, which I'm not really that interested in, but I think I might as well equip it here. Like I'm not interested in attacking. They just put Stoneforge plus Recruiter in front of it, and then like it's a 1-for-1. Now we get a little bit of a surveil slash scry action going with the Delver if we get to our upkeep because of the fetch land. This match feels very much in the balance, but like they have more impactful things. Like Ophelia is probably GG's. Orcish Bowmasters is not, I don't know, like it's obviously not great, but White Orchid Phantom. Okay, well, I have my one basic in my hand. Oh, and what is this? They're doing it to themselves. Get rid of the wasteland to get what? Have black or triple white? Interesting. Okay. Well, their wall is pretty well set up here. I'm not gonna be able to punch through it that easily. All right, come on, big flips, big reveals. Brainstorm, yes! The card I've been waiting for this entire game. All right, let's brainstorm. Just don't show me 3 lands here. Don't show me that nonsense. Okay. I'll get rid of, I guess, basic island and wasteland. Then I'll fetch. And let's get volcanic. Let's cast our second spell of the turn. Let's say yes to this. This White Orchid Phantom is a little bit of a problem. They can just eat up the Delver. Let's actually not attack. Is that real? Is that true? We could attack with the monk, and then if they block here and I have a spell, then that's pretty bad for them. And if I'm not attacking, I'm pretty much showing them that I don't, but I think it's better to not attack. And I think I will bobble here to find more action. Recruiter of the Guard is a good draw for them. Brainstorm is pretty sweet. Wrath of the Skies, I don't think so. Let's cast a Brainstorm first to get another trigger out of this. Get rid of double Wasteland. Unfortunately, we will be drawing one of these. And also, unfortunately, I am losing my Murktide here. So what happens here? If I Unholy Heat the Flicker Wisp and then attack, then they block with the White Orchid Phantom and just eat my Delver, and then they just block whatever they want here. I think I am supposed to Unholy Heat the Phantom. They also, we have to remember, they do have Solitude in hand. Like I can get through with any damage here, it would be pretty big. Alright, I am going to attack with everything, and they probably trade Flicker for Delver and then Solitude my big boy. Is that the plan? Solitude pitch Solitude. Yeah, I think this is probably pretty favorable for them. But I mean, I'm not sure what else I'm doing here. We know they have another Recruiter of the Guard. They can get Recruiter and then a Stoneforge and cast the Stoneforge. Or something else. Maybe that is what they're doing. Again, I think Brainstorm immediately is the best thing I can draw right now. Philia, okay. Cast the Philia, okay. That at least does not have haste. This is the one turn now. We cannot allow Philia or allow them to untap with Philia. So we have to fetch here to not draw another stupid wasteland. And then, yeah, hope for the best. 2 Brainstorms left, some Ponders. Dragon's Rage Chandler is not it. Okay, I think I do play out the DRC and equip. Oh wait, this is almost lethal, right? It gains haste. Man, if I had some more action here. Okay, that was good. I kind of forgot that Cori-Steel gives it haste, and I could wasteland So let's see here. If I wasteland their wasteland, they have 4 mana rather than 5. So Recruiter cannot just get and hardcast Solitude. I guess that's worth it. It's obviously better if I had, like, if I draw Force of Will, it's better, or I mean Brainstorm, it's better to have the extra card in hand. How many bolts have I gone through? 1. 2. No, rather 2. So I have 2 left. My clock is also obviously very low here. All right, Philia flickers Recruiter. Just gonna yield. Recruiter comes back, EOT, and gets to get something. I guess it has to be Solitude, right? Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. What does that do here? I draw Wasteland. Seriously, deck. How does Orcish Bowmasters help us here? Maybe they just have a Solitude already? That has to be it. Fairy Macabre. Ah, okay. And that takes me off Delirium. Nice. That was a pretty sweet play, not gonna lie. I unfortunately have no spell here. Kill your 2 things. Pass. Here comes the gang, I guess. Yeah, leaving behind in case I somehow have a flash creature. And now, like, I think if they get Solitude, they can just Solitude their own Philia. And live through a Lightning Bolt. Okay. So what does this mean? So what happens if I petty theft the Philia and they Solitude the I think I have to petty theft the Philia here. I also don't have time. I shouldn't have played the Wasteland. Yeah, so if they Solitude the Philia, then my Brazen Borrower doesn't go on an adventure. Now they have to Solitude my Monk token. Yep. Pitching the Philia. Pass. They probably have Yorion. Just hard. No, they can't. They can't fetch. Solitude again. Wow. Okay. Well, I feel like I might lose the clock here, but I feel like I might be pulling ahead. Well, certainly if they can't answer this. Wow, we got there! 6. 1 minute, 9 seconds on the clock. Yes! Whew. Man, that felt crazy, that game. This certainly is a lot different than playing Doomsday for, for that many rounds. Very different games. That was very, very satisfying. All right, cool. Off to round number 5, I guess. Let's see how much is left. It looks like ours was the last match. Okay, 1 minute 30. Time to gather my thoughts here. And as you see, 48 players. Pretty sure some are gonna make it into top 8 at 4 and 2 with this few players. But I could be wrong. But that would be my guess. So a 5 and 1 is like a guaranteed top 8, I would say. Let's see. Currently, there are 3 unbeaten players, and the X1 bracket goes down to 15th. So we're like 11 3 and 1s. That means probably we're going to be 5 X and 1s after this. No, 6, because one of these 2 4 and 1s. Ooh, the Doomsday opponent that beat us is 4-0. That's pretty sweet. Maybe we, if we get lucky in top 8, we might get a chance at the revenge. Oh, and I see Michael Reed is there. Eureka. He's probably also on Doomsday. All right, we are on the play for round number 5. And think I mulligan this 5 lands and no threats. I'll keep this. And I'll get rid of Unholy Heat, I believe. All right, we will keep, and it is goodbye to Unholy Heat. All right. Alrighty, I will play Misty Rainforest and pass. And then if we're lucky, we get to do the thing where you turn to Cori-Steel Cutter and Bobble. We've not tried that yet, I don't think. But let's see. Alright, the opponent is on a Wasteland. Well, Daze was a good draw there. So let's, I think I'm just going to fetch double Volcanic here. We are already like soft to a Wasteland. Alright, let's cut some steel. Hopefully we aren't getting force willed out of this Wasteland opening. We were not. All right, bauble it is. Bauble triggers. We will equip, and we will attack. And I will bauble them to get a chance to see what they're up to over there. What does bauble show us? Water. Wastscape Mage. Okay, a Wastscape Battle Mage. So this is Eldrazi. My Wasteland is probably going to be pretty good. Delver, I don't hate it. Next turn we can Delver and then Wasteland. Oh man, this is so good. So they kick this, exiling a... How does this work? If it was kicked with its kicker. So I guess you can pay with Cavern for the kicker. Okay, well, that is gone. And we can't counter this, so... Alright, let's go ahead and Wasteland their Cavern. Alright, so... I think we attack here before we do anything else. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Maybe I'm actually supposed to bolt this. Yeah, I think I'm going to bolt the Battle Mage. That clears the blocker. They currently don't really have a lot of mana, and I think this monk is going to do more than 3 damage over the course of this game. All right, here comes the attack. I'm going to play Delver post-combat and pass. They've shown us a Spirit Guide, so I am worried about like whether or not this Daze is going to do what I want it to do, but that is the play I'm able to make here, so let's Daze this Cosmlex command. And it looks like it is going to work. I am actually going to try and ensure the flip here. Okay, that was good. Let's put back on Holy Heat as the thing we flip with. Wastegate Battle Mage. So they're gonna... This is exile or bounce? Return, okay. That's fine. So I'm gonna replay Delver, and then I'm gonna Unholy Heat the Wastegate thing. And obviously we don't know for sure if Delver is going to flip, but they will be at 5 shortly, and we have Force, and they have an Ancient Tomb. Line Breaker. I think I'm just gonna force that. If I draw a spell that flips, or if a spell flips Delver and it's something I can cast, then they're dead. No, never mind, because they tap the Ancient Tomb, so they're any spell they're dead. If Delver flips, they're dead. Unless their last card does something really impactful. What does something there? Putting mana into this. Might be a Cosmlex command for 0 to take my my construct. I don't know. Oh no, because the Ugin also discounts that, I think. Yeah, okay. And now they get chump blockers. Oh, bummer. Well, let's start eating through these and hope they draw a little bit of gas now, or a little bit of air. I could also like draw Lightning Bolt, I suppose. Okay, they wasteland us. We need them to not like draw big stuff here. I'll take a blue card if I don't get an actual spell. Thundering Falls. That's not great. I suppose it's better than any other land I could have drawn there. Have to chump there. I'll take Brainstorm. Faux show. Even if they kind of stabilize here, Brainstorm looking for a bolt is great. Okay, they had enough. All right, so we want Consign to Memory for sure. We want Price of Progress for sure. I don't think we want Force of Negation. Unholy Heats are pretty good. They are a Chalice of the Void deck. Maybe a Braid is okay. This is a lot of stuff to bring in though. Let's get rid of Force of Negation. Let's get rid of... I'm actually going to get rid of all my Dazes on the draw versus the Simian Spirit Guide deck. And I guess I'll get rid of a Brazen Borrower. Alright, how does this look? This does... I think this does enough. I am going to keep here. A Chalice for 1 is obviously not great, but a Wasteland would be even worse. Eldrazi Temple. Well, I've not seen this art before. Okay. It looks like a Chalice. Well, we have one card that is affected by that right now. Could try and Wasteland them. If I draw a second land or a third land, I might want to do that, but no. Okay. Thundering Falls. Please show me more lands. Let's get rid of Mishra's Bauble. And we pass. Alright, please don't wasteland me. Second Eldrazi Temple. Force of Will is good here. DRC not so good. Alright, well, we do get to do the cutter thing. Well, so let's cast Bauble. I think I am just gonna bauble them regardless. Secluded Courtyard. Okay, so now they can kick that Wayscape Battle Mage. Or maybe they just, oh, they have Dismember. Okay. I will pass. So this Price of Progress could well end up being like what decides this game. Meanwhile, I'm just drawing 1-drops. Not exactly what I want to see here. I think any land that's not a wasteland basically lets me cast Core-Steel Cutter and then throw something into the abyss. What does this do? When you cast it, you may pay something else, and if you do, gain control. But that did not happen. So they have a 3/1 haster on land. Yes, please. And now this is actually pretty cool, because now we get double triggers. I guess I will just cast this DRC because this doesn't trigger Prowess, which is going to come later. Might come in handy next turn. I can like cast Brainstorm and Lightning Bolt into the Chalice and then get some triggers. Obviously, our life total is also relevant, but we are the ones holding the Price of Progress. We do kind of get to decide. And we can wasteland one of our lands if we need to. This looks like a Causal X command. Oh, it's a Chalice for 2. That is super duper heads up. We do still get to put like a lot of damage on them soon. Alright, well, let's attack. And let's cast a Brainstorm. Oh shoot, I should have done that before combat. Then I would get another monk. Oh my god. Yeah, that was a punt. Let's cast this pop. Oh my god, that was very poorly played on my part. I don't want to re-equip here. But I am like looking pretty swell for next turn. They go down to 4. And they have 1 card in hand. Not unless they're playing something like All Is Dust or something. I don't see how they get out of this. Oh, they've not conceded yet. I guess the 1 ring. Thought Nuts here. You may knot some thoughts here. That should do it, right? They only have 2 blockers. I have 4 prowess creatures. And I can cast a spell guaranteed next turn. Guess they have 1 card in hand that if that can block. Okay. They take the 1 CMC spell. Alright. I have it, right? So I cast Price of Progress. All of my monks gain +1/+1. I attack. They have to block the 2 biggest ones, and then 4 damage gets through. So I could pop here and then force my own pop to have a second spell and get mucho Cori-Steel, but Force of Will lets me like protect myself from whatever it might be that they're sitting on that stops this from being a moot point. All right, yeah, okay. All right, 4-1. How about that? So if we're a bit lucky, we hit that top 8. Alrighty, so this is round 6. We're on the play. I think by my reckoning, this is the final round before the top 8. And if we win, I think we're locked. And if we lose, we might still make it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna mulligan this No-Lander. Yep, this is good. I will, I think, bottom the Murktide, and then I'm gonna go turn 1 Ponder, and then hopefully find a second land and be ready for turn 2 Cori-Steel plus Bauble. Opponent is also on a mulligan. All right, let's ponder here. Land plus Force of Will would be just delightful. Well, we take the second land for sure, and I think we then draw Cori-Steel because Cori-Steel is the obvious take here with Thoughtseize if our opponent is off the Thoughtseizing nature. Fellmire, okay. So this is... Yikes. This is oops all spells. Alright, all my thoughts of a fair, steel cutter thing happening here. So the only reason to not or rather, the only reason to daze right now rather than wait is if they have a second Dark Ritual. If they have a second Dark Ritual, we're just like waiting. We're putting things off for a turn. Yeah, I guess. Balustrade Spy, exiling Elvish Spirit Guide. They have one card in hand. If that one card is a Spirit Guide, we lose on the spot. If it's a Pact of Negation, we also lose on the spot. So, great day in the morning. Of course. Of course you had it, you sicko. All right, all right. Let's see what their deck looks like. I'm not very very into the nitty gritty of Ipsal spells, so I'm not sure exactly what I can glean from this. I hear people all the time saying like, oh, if they have Pact of Negation, that means they're not on creature pivot, whereas if they have, I don't know, like Chancellors maybe, I don't know, or more discard. So they are on Pact of Negation. Yeah, well, all right, we can concede. All right, we have a lot of stuff here. The Consign to Memories and the Force of Negation. Although Force of Negation isn't great, but they might pivot to Belcher, and Force can still fight over like a Pact of Negation. I don't think I want any of the red cards in my sideboard. And Null Rod is not great, but it's also not nothing. Like they do play like Lotus Petals, probably Chrome Moxen, and their pivot might include Goblin Charbelcher. So let's bring in these 7 cards, and I think we can board out on Holy Heat. They are likely, well, they're not likely, but they are. It's not impossible that they are going to board in creatures like Dothy Voidwalker or something like that. But I think keeping in some number of bolts is fine. I think I'm going to board out of the Cori-Steel and try and just beat. Well, maybe not all of them. I don't know. Let's get rid of Brazen Borrower. Let's get rid of 2 Mishra's Bauble. And let's bring in 1 Cori-Steel. Is 4 Lightning Bolts too many? Probably. I'll board in a second Cori-Steel. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, I guess I'll keep this. We have... It's not like... This isn't like unbeatable by any stretch of the imagination. Surgical Extraction is a little bit soft-ish because of Memory's Journey, but we do have a lot of relevant stuff here. They mulligan to 6. Okay, I'm gonna fetch under or Volcanic Island and cast the Ponder. Okay, this is all good. Yeah, I think I will wait. It's a little bit long to wait to cast DRC, but I think I want the second Force in my hand. Then I want to draw Grafdigger's Cage. Maybe that is the coward's move because we already have the Surgical, but here comes Lotus Petal. They chose to tap to have this Agadeem's Awakening enter tapped. Let's hope this matters. 2 Lotus Petals, 3 mana total. This might be a creature happening. Claw Ritual, okay. Undercity Informer. I think I'm supposed to let this happen. Alright. I'll play DRC and I will pass. And we have double Force Days Surgical. It feels like enough, but well, we'll see. We're just going on the old beatdown. Yep. Cori-Steel Cutter. Someday, maybe. I think the second Cori-Steel Cutter can go into the graveyard. Not sure about this, if I'm being honest. No, I think I'm going to shuffle here. Okay, so we find a land. I think I'm gonna ponder again. If I find a creature or an instant off of the Surveil, then that's pretty good. I would like to replace this ponder with another blue card though. Yeah, I don't want Misty Rainforest, unfortunately, so no Delirium this turn. I will draw a Delver to pitch to my Force, and then I might draw a second Delver next turn, or if I have to cast a spell, then, you know, I'll cast a spell. We actually have a lot of things, fun things we can do here. We can Cori-Steel Cut and then Surgical as the second spell. Thoughtseize. Okay, Thoughtseize is going to happen. They probably take the Cori-Steel Cutter here. Okay, so we have Surgical Extraction coming next turn. we could play the second Delver, but I think I would rather have double force. And we will in short order, like, win this race. All right, so Delver is going to reveal Surgical. And then I am going to Surgical their Thoughtseize, because I don't want to draw that second Surgical, and this also makes DRC Delirious. Let's get rid of this, our Surgical. Okay, so they do have the Charbelcher. So look at their deck. What is this? Is this Progenitus? Why are we playing Progenitus? Is that to not get decked? Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm just going to take a picture of this. All right, well, let's get rid of these. They have a pivot of 2 Goblin Charbelchers, and that's it. I don't see any Dothy Voidwalkers, anything like that. All right, and we take a fresh draw step. That's a Wasteland. Don't hate that. Let's attack. And I guess we just Wasteland them. We're at 8. And tell you what, I am going to play out the second Wasteland. Now I can hardcast Force of Negation and then pitchcast Force of Will and still have a Daze. So all in all, that is pretty good. And next turn is lethal. I think they know my hand, right? Maybe they don't know the second Delver. Value straight spy. Exile target player reveals. So they can... Yeah, never mind. They're conceding. I was just trying to work out why they were doing this, just to see my deck, or a couple of cards into my deck maybe. Then I was like thinking, hang on, can Narcomoeba enter? But no, I don't think Narcomoeba can enter from the graveyard with a Grafdigger's Cage in place. So, all right, so we're on to game number 3 here, and I'm going to be on the draw for that one. Am I supposed to bring in a Braid just to kill a resolved Goblin Charbelcher? It's a little bit random here, but I think I will add a Braid for Lightning Bolt. And there's also like an argument can be made to cutting the days, like cutting a days or two here, because like notoriously days feels very bad when the opponent can exile Spirit Guides, but we are then forcing them to have more stuff. So can we keep this? I mean, no, I think I'm gonna mulligan. Yeah, thankfully I mulliganed. Let's keep, and think we bottom Murktide Regent. It's probably that or Wasteland. Meanwhile, opponent is going down to 5. They can find like land, guide, dark ritual, guy, and then Pact of Negation. But I mean, oh no, really? Wow, they had the. Did they have the win through the Thoughtseize? Yep, looks like it. Yep. Oh my god. You sicko. All right. GG's. Well, that is what Oops is capable of, but I mean, you can't mulligan down to try and find double interaction. I had the Grafdigger's Cage as well. They just got like, yeah, they got it real good. Let's see if we get lucky and top 8 still. So let's see here. Right now there is 2 5-1s. So they're gonna jump above me and these other 4 2s. But it doesn't look like any more of the matches, like the matches that are still happening, the 8 matches in progress, they seem to be all between people that are already X2. But that means like more could jump up to 4-2, I guess. Or I mean that is what's going to happen. There's a 4-2 there as well. Yeah, let's see. I don't think there are going to be a lot of 4-2s, and it would therefore probably be a bit unlikely that I end up there, considering that I lost. Wait, when did I lose? I lost. No, I didn't lose until like round 3, right? That was my first loss. So it wasn't like I lost in round number one. That's usually like where your pairings take a, or your tiebreakers take a big hit. So 11 players with 4-2, and 3 of us got in. So that was nice. So now we're on the draw, basically, for the entire top eight. Uh, yeah, and it was interesting. I was just talking to my friend Michael. We were just chatting. Michael is Eureka22422. So um, he's in this top eight, which is funny. So we've just been chatting a little bit, and I was telling him about my last round, and he pointed out something I think which is a very heads up thing, which I had Grafdigger's Cage and Force of Will, and my opponent went like Fellmire Dark Ritual. It's probably correct to just force the Dark Ritual. They had 3 cards left at that point. Uh, all right. Okay, but anyways, we're on the draw here, and we get a pretty sweet Delver hand here, so I'm going to keep this. And the opponent is mulliganing. All right, they found 6 they like. Let's go. And it's funny, like, Michael was telling me, all right, oh, so this guy was on that deck last night, and this guy, I just tell, like, a lot of people are regulars to these like legacy challenges, and I play them so rarely. I am a little bit of a challenge noob in that regard. Ponder. Okay. Really happy to not see Tamio, though we do have the lightning bolt. But yeah. And we're up against the Lotus Petal Gamer, so this could be Doomsday. It could be Show and Tell. Okay. So Delver could flip earlier, or like could flip right away and then be a faster clock. But I think DRC might be worth it here. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Let's see. Are we dead? Oh, it is Show and Tell. Let's Force of Will, and we'll pitch Brainstorm, I think. Maybe it was the Delver. And I'll put a Bauble in the graveyard. Like, I think the best thing I could draw here if they do resolve the Show and Tell is a land, and then hopefully maybe bounce. Hopefully it's like Omniscience, and then I can bounce it. But they had Force pitching stock up. I guess I'll put in the Delver. And they have Emrakul, so I lose. Yep, there's not a single thing I can do here. Okay, that's rough. So let's bring in Force of Negation. And let's bring in Pyroblasts. I don't think I bring in much else. There is a very teeny tiny world where I might want to bring in the Surgical Extraction and then like take a Show and Tell. But I don't love it. I think Brazen Borrower is pretty weak. And I don't think we should be planning for the eventualities like that. So let's bring that out. Let's bring out an Unholy Heat and 1 Lightning Bolt. I don't know if they could have like a creature pivot. We saw Polluted Delta as the fetch land, so they might be like they have a black splash and Barrogoyfs. I don't think we're supposed to bring in Consign to Memory. I mean, what's that really gonna do for us? Yeah, I'll keep this. I will go Volcanic Island Ponder here. Force of Will, Murktide Regent, and Wasteland. I think we want these. Question is in what order. I think I draw Force and then draw Murktide. Can always like cast Brainstorm if we really want to Wasteland next turn. Ancient Tomb pass. You know what? I think maybe I do want to Wasteland. Yeah, let's try that. Double Wasteland in a daze. Alright, let's put back Flooded Strand, because I don't want to be fetching like right now, and we put back 1 Wasteland. So let's kill this Ancient Tomb. They might have like Lorien revealed here. And they get Basic Island. It's probably smart. All right. I think we play out the cutter. It's certainly not very exciting right now. They brainstorm. Okay. I mean, that happens. If I daze right now, I daze their brainstorm, which is nice and all, but I think the daze will come in handy later, and it won't trigger the Cori-Steel. Pass the turn. And I wonder if I'm supposed to like play this wasteland or save this wasteland for like Mistrise Village. I also like I am aware that I could be dazing here and getting closer to resolving Murktide. So that's certainly a thing. They do not shuffle. Okay. So they didn't shuffle. And they didn't play land. Interesting. That means they probably are sandbagging a land. Or maybe they have a Reanimator pivot? Who knows? We'll see shortly. If Atraxa goes to the graveyard here. But if it's not the Reanimator plan, then maybe they have like Ancient Tomb and I don't know, Lotus Petal or something, and they want to go off next turn. I guess not with Lotus Petal. Then they could go on off this turn. Intuition goes into the graveyard. Okay. We draw our Flooded Strand. I guess do we play Murktide here? It's a little bit risky, right? That means tapping out, going down from Force to Force Daze. Maybe it's okay. Like, we're also not like really winning by giving them infinite time here. I suppose I could have gotten Thundering Falls. That might have been better. Yep. All right. Pass. Cycling Lorien revealed. Okay. Tropical Island. If this is carpet, I am dazing that. Toot sweet. Let's draw not a blue card. Do I equip this to put one more, like to shave a turn off the clock? I think I do. The way this punishes me is if they were playing like Spell Pierce or something. But I think I will. And then I'm gonna Wasteland the Trop. They've shown us to be like really struggling with mana. And I think trying to keep them off kilter for as long as possible is what I'm all about here. And now if I draw a blue card for my next draw step, then I have 2 forces, which is sweet. But yeah, we have to get there. They could have Ancient Tomb, Show and Tell, Force of Will, combo piece. And you know, they have been struggling with mana, so their hand is all spells. So I do need them to not hit like Show and Tell mana here. Another Lorien revealed, okay. And another Trop. This is going to be another carpet. No. We're tapping blue. Casting Brainstorm, okay. Come on. Force of, or rather, blue card or Wasteland is what I'm after here. I guess like Lightning Bolt. No, like Brainstorm into or Cantrip into Lightning Bolt is also something I'd be pretty interested in, but that would leave them at 1 life. All right. Well, here we go. Can we draw a blue card? We could, and we did. Okay, let's see if that's going to be good enough. All right, Ponder it is. All right, they did find the thing, so it's do or die time here. I am going to... All right, let's say that they have the card Daze in their deck. I don't very much expect them to, but they could have. Then maybe if we Force of Will first, they might pitch a Daze and not have a Daze to pay for the second one, but yeah. So let's Force of Will. All right, they just had nothing, and we're off to game number 3. All right, the carpet is definitely super annoying if it resolves. Cori-Steel Cutter is somewhat awkward here. I think I want to cut 1 Cori-Steel Cutter. And then what? Like bring in a Brazen Borrower instead? I'm not saying like that bouncing a Carpet is really what I want to do, but I just like that Cori-Steel. I played it on turn 2 and it never did anything. That was pretty disappointing. And Consign Memory, to like bring that in to stop the carpet is not really a thing. All right, I will keep this Pyroblast Brainstorm hand. Meanwhile, opponent mulligans to 6. Turn 1 carpet is probably what I'm most afraid of here. That does look like what's happening. Yep. I basically have no land that makes mana that stops this, or that doesn't make that isn't an island. So maybe we can operate on like one island. Maybe I am supposed to just wasteland here. I kind of want to see if they don't have any more lands, then that will sort of inform my decision. And maybe I'm supposed to play Bauble here, actually. Fill my graveyard up, get a little bit of velocity going, see what they're drawing. They're drawing Lorien Revealed. Okay. Force of Will. I'm not going to complain about that. Well, they don't have a second land. But as soon as I play a land that is an island, then they will have it. All right. I think I will pass here. We'll know if it's an island or if it's land they draw, because then they will play it. And I kind of want to bobble myself here. So they find the bounced land. I'm not sure I'm ready to fetch regardless, so maybe this is stupid. Oh, but I really don't want to draw Surgical Extraction. Come on. Okay, so I can make a 3/3 Murktide next turn. Or I can make it a 4/4 by casting this Brainstorm first. Okay, I thought I was getting stifled there for a second. They are cycling their Lorien Revealed. Maybe I'm no, I'll cast Brainstorm now. There's that Surgical anyways. Okay, let's get rid of Thundering Falls. And what else? I guess I'll draw this Surgical. Okay, I will play out my I guess I'm drawing everything here. Damn. Yeah, I always lose track of that. Okay, we get a Thundering Falls here. I think I will play my Volcanic Island. I know this gives them 2 stupid things, but yeah, let's try this. Maybe the Surgical can do something for us, like inform our decision. There I'm making blue mana, 6 cards in hand. One of them is an island. Okay, there's that second island and a defense grid. I think I will Force of Negation that, pitching the Murktide, and see if I can find another blue card. I can. That's also a pretty good blue card, actually. Let's leave that on top. I think I will be casting this Brainstorm next turn, even though that is my blue card. But between the Surveil and Brainstorm, I'm hopefully finding another blue card, and I really want to like get to Delirium here. They don't shuffle. Okay. Alright, let's cast Brainstorm. We Surveil. Ponder. I mean, Ponder would give us Delirium, but Ponder is also a blue card. I mean, imagine if we don't find another blue card. Let's leave that on top. Yeah. Damn. Okay, well, let's how detrimental is it going to be for me to give them another mana off of this carpet? That is the question. Alright, I'm gonna put both of these back, these lands, and sadly attack with my feeble 1/1. I could also Surgical myself to shuffle. That is also a legal play. I do feel very vulnerable here. This is Veil of Summer. Smells like it. 4 mana. This could be what? What could this be? Stock up. I think I will Pyroblast that. It could be they have Veil here. Surveil the DRC, get rid of Island. I mean, Veil is not going to cantrip at least. So I think if they do Veil us here, I think we just let them do that. Okay. That didn't happen. Okay. So I'm going to bolt them in my upkeep to not draw that second or that Thundering Falls. Although they have so much mana now, giving them one extra might not be that big of a difference. Ponder, I love. Love, love, love. I wouldn't hate a Wasteland, actually. Second Dragon Trace Chandler might also be something I'm interested in. I'm actually going to leave it on top. If the game does like go on beyond next turn, then having that is pretty good. Oof. Yeah, let's put Murktide on top and then draw Pyroblast. I do kind of worry that I am dead next turn. Like they have 3 cards. If they have Show and Tell plus something to show in plus Veil of Summer here, then I'm toast. They were drawing a 4th card as well. Could be I'm supposed to surgical the stock up. I have a feeling this game is going to end and this surgical is going to be in my hand. Either having won or lost. What is this? 5 mana. Show and tell. Let's surgical stock up right now. And the reason I am doing that is they might have stock up in their hand, and their plan might be Omniscience plus stock up. And this lets us see if it's worth fighting over. I mean, if their hand is Veil of Summer plus Atraxa here or whatever, then it's too bad. Then we've lost no matter what, I think. Yeah. That's bad, folks. Very bad. It isn't 100% game over here, but it's probably pretty close to that. 4 defense grid is pretty sweet. Okay. So their hand is Atraxa, Veil of Summer, and another Show and Tell. So they can just go again next turn. Yeah, this isn't gonna end well, but I'm not gonna Force of Will. They will just get their Atraxa. And then if they find like Emrakul plus Force of Will, then they just have the mana to Show and Tell again. Yep, no response. I have nothing. Here's Atraxa. What's the damage like? Omniscience, Ponder, Flusterstorm. Yeah, and they haven't made their land drop here, so they can make a land. They also have Petal or whatever. So now they're going to have Omniscience and a Ponder. And then if Ponder finds something, we're toast. And I will have to Pyroblast the Atraxa, and then like they will have Omniscience, and we might also end up in a situation where they can just well, let's see. Yeah, no, they can go keep up Flusterstorm and Veil, so they can just fluster my Pyroblast. Okay. What did they take? They took Petal, Ponder, Trop, Omniscience, and Flusterstorm. Yep. Story checks out. And do I know what's coming here? I think I have to force this. I have to get one of their Veil or Fluster out of their hand. They will Veil. If I then draw a land, and I can't remember what's on top. I'll know shortly here. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Well, let's get rid of that. So if they drew like Emrakul, then we've lost, or another Atraxa. If the Ponder finds it for them, whatever. But yeah. Okay, they found Emrakul. All right, GG's opponent. Congratulations. All right, everyone. So we lost in the quarterfinals. Managed to sneak into the top eight. That was like a lot of fun. And yeah, I think this deck is pretty much it does what it says it does on the tin. It delivered. Maybe a little bit disappointed that my three losses were all to spell-based combo. Like I lost to Doomsday, I lost to Oops All Spells, and I lost to Blue Green Omnitel. Yeah, I think the carpet more or less it felt like that was the decisive thing that happened in the final game of the final match. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot I would change here. Maybe, but I'm not an expert in this archetype. I didn't get to play against the card Barrowgoyf, which is I brought in all these unholy heats to do that. Well, that's not true. That is the card I lost to out of Doomsday. But yeah, maybe I had expected to see more Barrowgoyfs. Was happy to beat basically the matchups that I probably would not have expected to be that pleasant. Like what do you call it? The Death and Taxes, and there was the Eldrazi, and the Hatchery Pox stack. But yeah, all in all, it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out a lot, and it is free and clear for you to do. All right, see you around. Bye bye.